I want you to know that you are not being recorded. The picture of you is not being recorded. What's being recorded is actually just me. If you ask a question or something, your voice will be there, but the image of you won't be there. Just so you know that in the recording. And I only do the recording so that if you're unable to attend class sometime or you want to do another class, you can go to the YouTube channel at the DayaFoundation.org, their website. And when you click on YouTube channel, you should see maybe Lynn, and that under me is some adaptive yoga stuff. Yes. Okay. So that's the deal about the recordings. They're just there for you if you want to return to them, if you want to have someone who maybe is interested in joining, if they want to see one of the videos, they can do that as well. All right.
I'm having trouble hearing you this morning.
You're having
this morning.
Yeah.
Lynn, you have a funny kind of echo this morning that you usually don't have. The picture is perfect, but the echo is kind of funny.
It is.
No idea what that's about. I didn't have it when I taught from 9 to 10:30, so that's weird. Don't know if I can change it at all. There's nothing.
Wait, are you using a new microphone or?
No. So that's just super strange. Thank you for saying something. I don't know if this thing has a mic. Let me try this. See if this is any different.
Lynn, I don't have an echo.
I don't either.
Oh, now what's that sound like?
Oh, that's worse.
That's worse.
Better. That is better.
It's worse for Eileen and it's better for somebody else.
Usually.
Oh, no, that's worse.
Usually I use that microphone right there, the built-in microphone.
I think that's good.
So that's what I usually teach with. This is what we've normally used. So I don't know what to do. Some of you can hear me and some of you are having a problem. How strange.
It's okay.
Well,
We'll just
it's not that
hold your
bad.
head.
We'll deal with it.
Yeah,
right.
it's okay.
All right. Well, thank you. Okay. Let me get rid of that little thing. Okay. So I'll talk slower.
Lower your voice a little to a deeper level.
Oh,
I can. All right.
Can you adjust a reverb on your system? I wonder if reverb got on.
Where's reverb?
I have no idea on what it looks like on your side, but sometimes it's some kind of a setting on microphones or something.
I don't have a microphone. I only have the internal microphone that's on the computer.
Oh, well, then I don't know.
Well, we'll just give it a roll. I'll try to be a good model for you. I did want to read you a poem though, so we'll see if I can do that and you'll be able to hear me. And I will type into the chat box the name of the poem and the author in case you want to look it up later. Okay?
Good. Thank you.
For after class. But for now, you've taken a comfortable seat and let's just go ahead and do that. We just take a seat and you're welcome to rest your hands in your lap. And first, before we begin, can I go around and if there's something in particular that you're hoping I will do in our practice today, can you share that? So Eileen.
I'm just trying to relax with what's on.
Joe?
I'll go with relax. That sounds good.
All right, Kelly?
I want to wake up.
Relax, get away from the present moment.
But that's okay. I still have to work on my calf and my foot, but it's better.
Okay, and
Relax sounds good.
Mom,
I'm all for that.
okay, John,
I'm really new at this, so anything is good. Anything is brand new to me, so it all helps.
okay, Will, you're good? Okay. And then Mary Ann, is there anything that you would hope that I would do? Okay. All right. Okay, you're muted, but I'm gonna assume you're game. Okay, so let's go ahead and rest your hands in your lap comfortably. And take one of your hands right now, and can you put it right, if you find your breastbone right here, your breastbone, that tall bone that goes up the middle of you. And at the top of the breastbone is this other bone called the manubrium, and right above that is a notch. You feel that little notch right above the breastbone? Okay.
Sure.
All right. So that's called the sternal notch. You don't need to know the name. I'm just telling you. And right now I'm going to invite you to imagine that when we sit right now and take a deep breath in and the breath out, I want you to imagine that the breath is coming through here. So you're going to be moving the breath in and out through the nose. Why? Because if you right now just breathe in and out through your mouth, the breath, it just all goes, right? It just comes out really fast. And there's no control unless we change the shape of the mouth for how the breath comes out. So if you're comfortable breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, we can control the pace of the inhale and the pace of the exhale. When we can control the breath, it helps us control the mind. So the mind is very busy ruminating over the past or else the future. That's what the mind does. It likes to go round and round, judging things as good or bad, or this should or shouldn't, or all these things that are just not that valuable at the moment. So in order to quiet the mind, in order to find that ease, that relaxation, that presence, we can use our breath to do that. So go ahead, and if you're comfortable, close your eyes. And even as you bring, even though the breath is coming in through the nose and out through your nose, can you imagine the breath actually entering right at that space above your breastbone? And this would be both the inhale and your exhale. And you might notice that when you imagine the breath coming and going through this space at the top of your breastbone, that your breath actually has a sound to it. A sound that you hear with your inner ear. And if there was someone within a couple of feet of you, they might also hear your breath. So right now, you're just deepening your inhale to wherever is comfortable, not straining or stressful. And then lengthening your exhale, again, just allowing the breath to go out. If at any time you feel like you're out of breath, then just relax, take a normal breath. And I'm going to read to you a Wendell Berry poem. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. And with your next exhale, just let go of any control on the breath. Just allow your body to be breathed. And then join your hands together in front of your heart. So honoring your presence, the gift of your presence. And then with your next exhale, you can bow your head towards your heart. And then release your hands and lift your gaze. All right. So that particular breath is a type of yoga breath. It's called Ujjayi. It would translate to like victorious breath. So if you were hearing like a sound of the breath with the inhale and the exhale, that was you practicing that tone that goes deep in the throat. And we can imagine that going a connection all the way to your heart. All right. So to begin our practice, can we come up to standing? Let's come to standing this morning. And so I've got my chair. I'll just move it off to the side. Let me see here. get my glasses so I can see you better. All right. And then if you're comfortable standing and you're not worried about your balance, you can let both arms dangle. If you are worried about your balance, you could always have, your chair there with the one hand on the back of the chair. Otherwise, just taking a moment to just find the support beneath you, to feel the ground, and to notice how you meet the ground. Where is the weight falling in your footprints? Do you feel more weight forward toward your toes so that you find your toes kind of gripping the ground? Or what happens if you just shift the weight just a little back and you find there's the heels? And the toes are still there, but they're relaxed on the floor. All right, let's inhale and take the arms straight out to the side with the palms facing down. And we'll take an exhale while we're here. And then let's turn the palms up towards the sky like you're receiving something from someone else. You could be receiving dark chocolate, or maybe you're just receiving love and presence. So take a deep inhale. And then with your next exhale, bring the hands back together in front of the heart. And then relax both arms down. And let's inhale, lift them straight ahead, all the way up. Breathing in, lengthening, reaching towards your fingers. And then your exhale, keep pressing into the ground and take the palms, face them toward the floor, coming all the way back down. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, turn the palms up. Inhale, lift the arms up or keep them wide. And exhale, hands back in front of the heart. Releasing the arms again. And we're going to inhale them wide, palms toward the floor. Relax the tops of your shoulders. So even as right now you've got the hands out wide, can the tops of the shoulders relax? That doesn't mean the arms go lower, but you're not going to lift the arms up from the muscles at the tops of the shoulders. And then we'll rotate again. You're rotating the palms up to the sky. Lifting at the top of the breastbone. And then maybe taking the arms up again, or maybe keeping them where they are. And then we'll bring the hands back down in front of the heart, like coming home again. Can there be this recognition of like coming home, coming back to yourself, back to your own grace, the grace that you were given and always carry. And then we'll release both arms. Great. Okay. So let's go ahead and just lift the right arm up. So I'll be like a mirror to you. We'll go halfway out with the right arm. That's the inhale. Your exhale, we turn the palm up. We'll inhale, lift the arm up or leave it where it is. And this time with the exhale, can you reach from the right low belly to the ground and take a small side bend? Inhale, come back to vertical. Exhale, release your right arm. Inhale the left arm out. Exhale, turn the palm up. Inhale, lift your arm. And with the exhale from the low belly, reach into the earth and see what happens. When you reach into the ground, do you feel yourself reach up more? And then we're going to exhale, side bend. Go the other way, John. Side bend your other direction. And then we'll inhale to vertical. And exhale, release. One more time, we're going to take both arms out, inhaling palms to the ground, relaxing the tops of the shoulders. This time, we'll rotate palms up. Inhale, lift them up. Lift at the top of the breastbone. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. And then let's relax both arms. All right. Can we turn towards, if you have your chair and the back of the chair, can we turn just towards the back of your chair? Okay, so there's your chair, you're facing it. Facing the back of the chair, you want some room behind you, so make sure there's room behind you. And then I'm gonna stand really close to my chair. I'm so close to my chair that it's actually touching my body a little bit. I'm really close, yeah. And then I'm gonna look straight ahead, take a deep breath in, and then with my next exhale, let's step the right foot back and let's bring the back heel down. So now I reached it back. So this is longer than a walk, right? This is a bigger stride, but I take it back just enough that I can get my back heel down. How far is that for you? That you've got the left foot forward, right foot back. Now I might put my fingers on my chair to help me lift at the top of the breastbone again, to lift right up in there. And then looking straight ahead, like you're looking toward a horizon, keep the right heel down, and let's just bend the front knee. I'm gonna walk my left foot a little more forward, I realize, because I have the capacity to keep my back heel down when I bring my shin forward. So what is the ability to do that? You're reaching back into the right heel, and the right calf muscle is probably getting a stretch. Can you look straight ahead like you're looking out at a horizon? And then I'm gonna push into my back foot and step it forward. And then I'm gonna step my left foot back. I'm gonna reach it back there till the toes hit the floor. I might even walk my right foot a little forward. I'm gonna bring my left heel down. And there it is. I'm gonna take my fingers to the back of the chair. So it's like we do at the wall, but we're using our chair. But I want you to make sure you're looking straight out, like you're looking at the horizon, not looking down right now. Look straight ahead. Yeah, we want to, sometimes walking, we end up going, what's down there and what's up there? So, and we want to be able to do both, don't we? Because we don't want to trip and fall. But, so sometimes we want to go, oh, the horizon, there it is. Then with your next exhale, keep the back heel down, but bring the right shin, knee forward. Can you breathe deeply? Can you bring the breath that, imagine you could bring it in right above the breastbone? And take 2 more breaths. Okay, and then we'll go ahead, push off the back foot. Just like I'm walking, you push off the back foot and you step forward. Good. All right. So now, what if we turn the chair around so that the seat of the chair is facing you? Yeah. And then, can you bow down to the seat of the chair? The hands find the seat of the chair, and you might wrap the fingers around the edge of the chair seat. And then let's step the right foot back and the left foot back. And so now I'm going to reach back. I'm going to reach my pelvis away from my chair. And again, drop into your breathing. And then I'm going to inhale and step forward. Step one foot forward and then the other foot. And then I'm going to take my hands to my hips and take my shoulder blades toward my waist as I come back up. And bring my hands back in front of my heart. Back like I'm arriving home again. And we're going to do that again. You ready? Any questions about doing that sort of movement? All right. So let's do it this way. We're going to first bring hands in front of the heart. And then we're going to inhale the arms out to the sides. And we're going to exhale, bow forward. Can you keep the legs pretty straight as you bow forward and bring your hands to the chair? Then we'll take an inhale in this position. And then with the exhale, step the non-dominant foot back first. Which one is the one that doesn't like to be the leader? And then once again, I'm going to reach back away from my chair. Taking a deep breath. And then with the exhale, I'm going to step my more awkward foot forward. This is like a brain work. And there I am at my chair. I'm going to shift my hands to my hips. And inhale, come up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, my arms out to the sides. Exhale, I'm going to bow forward, hands to the seat of the chair. I'm going to inhale while I'm here. This time as I exhale, I'm going to step just my right foot back. And when I do, I'm going to have my heel lifted. So now I'm on the ball of my right foot, and my left foot is very close to the chair. So left foot, left knee is bent, it's close to my chair. My right foot is back. My right heel is lifted. And my gaze, I want to think about the front of my throat and the back of my throat. So can I keep the throat open? And then I'm going to inhale, step my back foot forward. And exhale, take my left leg back. So I'm going back to a lunge again. And I do want to be close to my chair with my bent leg so that I don't have to reach way out there. I want it really close to me. And then with the back heel lifted, the front knee bent, a lot of strength in the back leg, and what's happening at the front of the throat and the back of the throat. Can I keep that balanced so that I'm not letting my head dangle, but I'm also not compressing the back of my neck? Where is the balance between front and back? And then with the next exhale, step the back foot forward. Shift the hands to the hips. Take the shoulder blades to the waist. Inhale, come up. And exhale, hands to the heart again. Back there. Okay. And we're gonna do one more. We're gonna build just a little bit on this. So we're gonna inhale the arms out. Exhale, bow forward. I try to keep my legs as straight as I can. Inhale with my hands on the chair seat. This time I'm going to exhale. I'm going to take both feet. I go back with the right foot, back with the left. So remembering this one, and I'm reaching my pelvis way back. Taking a deep breath there. Now with the exhale, I'm going to step my right foot forward. There's my lunge. Inhale in my lunge. Exhale, step my right foot back. Inhale, left foot forward. Stay there for the exhale. Balance front to back again. And you might, Eileen, just step your left foot forward a little more. Keep going, so that I don't want my front knee past my front ankle. That's it. Now, what about the head, Anne? Where's the head? Is the front and the back of the throat balanced? Lift it up a little more, Anne, the base of the skull. But yeah. Yay, that's it. Great. And then you're gonna inhale, everyone step forward toward the chair. All right. And then we're gonna shift our hands to our hips. And inhale, come back up. And exhale, hands back in front of the heart. And then you can release your hands and let the arms dangle. And you can take a moment to kind of just notice, like, wow, how do I feel now after just doing that little series of, of linking those poses together. And of course, at any time, you can always sit down during any of the practice, right? Because you want to really, by now, I think all of you are probably very wise and good at listening. When do I need to sit down and take it easy? We have to learn to listen. You're probably better at it than I am. Okay, so now we're going to take our chair and we'll just put it on so you can face it towards your towards the screen or whatever. And I'm going to put a blanket on my chair because I know that it won't be high enough for this next part. So if I raise the seat of my chair up a little, and how high do I want this? Okay, let's see. Let me show you. I think I'm going to put 2 blankets on my chair because why? Well, when I sit on the very edge of my chair right now, and I'm going to be a mirror again. So you're going to bring your right ankle, heel. Can you bring it across to the top of the opposite thigh? And when I do, this bone, the top of my pelvis, I'd like it to be a little higher than my knee. That's why I sit on 2 blankets right now. That's why I've brought my seat up more. Now, if getting even this ankle on the opposite leg does not work, if you can't, do that much rotation in the hip, then you would just bring that foot to maybe a stool or something, right? If it doesn't come all the way across. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the left side, and I'm just going to shift it back just a little bit. That way there'll be a little more weight on the side that I have the foot on the ground. Okay. All right. So, and then I'm gonna lift right up here where we were at the beginning of class thinking about. So I'm gonna lift at the top of my breastbone. And I'm gonna deepen my breath again in a comfortable way. I don't want to strain with my breathing. And I don't have to make, the breath the same right now. I just want to pay attention to deepening my breath and seeing if I can have my breath be smooth on both the inhale and my exhale. And then some of you are going to stay just as you are, and some of you might lean just a little forward. It just depends on what's happening in that hip. Some of you might be getting plenty of stretch staying vertical. Some of you might not, and you might find, oh, I can bring my torso forward slightly. And then if I lean forward, I'm going back to vertical, and then I can take my hand under that outer knee to help it and bring it back to the ground. And I like to take a moment to kind of notice like what that side of my body feels like compared to the other side of my body. And then I'll lean back a little and I'll bring the other one up. And I can hold on to my shin or wherever's comfortable. And I might shift that hip back just a little so that it's just a little, the bent knee, the lifted side is just back slightly on my chair. And I'm gonna lift up through the top of my breastbone, through that little notch area. I might even close my eyes. And I'm gonna, again, deepen my breath to where a place that feels comfortable to deepen it, that doesn't feel like I'm straining my breath. But a reminder to my body, to myself, that from cell to cell to cell to cell, there is communication happening. I can even imagine, I can use my imagination that on the inhale, it reaches all the way into that hip joint where I'm feeling the stretch. And that with the exhale, can I imagine it just becoming more easeful in that area where I feel a stretch happening. And I can, with yoga, we want to balance effort and ease. We want that to be balanced. And our breath is often a good indicator as to whether that's balanced. So, because if we're unable to take a breath, we might be over efforting. All right, great. And then let's go ahead and bring that foot to the ground. And just rest the hands on the tops of the thighs again. You're welcome to close your eyes or just take the gaze a little down. So it's a little more inward. All right, and then if the eyes are closed, open them, or you can bring the gaze up. And I'm seated right on the edge of my chair. Not because I'm anticipating anything. You know, I noticed with like one of my clients when he came in yesterday, Lynn, I feel stressed. I'm having pain, Lynn. I don't think I can breathe right. You know, and I could look at him in standing and I could see that even in standing, he was like forward, right? Like there's so much, his weight was shifted forward toward the balls of his feet. And, you know, like an anticipation of what's next kind of thing. And so, you know, I really encourage you, even when you're seated, even though I'm seated at the edge of my chair, whether I'm seated or I'm standing, you can even do a little experiment, even seated. If you lean forward a little, take a breath and see where you feel it. Do you feel the breath is up higher when you lean forward a little? Now take your torso to be more back slightly, not leaning back like slouching, but just like you just kind of bring the vertical back and take a deep breath again. And do you feel the breath drop down in your body a little more? Yeah. So if our breath is up here, this is going to feel more anxious, more anxiety. I can't breathe as well. I'm using smaller muscles to do the breathing. So even in how we stand, we meet, we greet the world or other people, where you might notice when you're waiting in line or you're you're waiting sometimes. Where are you? And where's your breath? So right now, let's take both hands behind you and grab onto your chair somewhere. You could grab onto the seat of the chair or maybe, you know, one of the legs of the chair, whatever. But this time, from right at the top of the breastbone, can you lift that up? Lift at the top of the breastbone. So we're doing there's a little back bend here. This is an exaggeration, but we're opening the upper back a little. And then with the next exhale, we're gonna release the hands and pretend we're gonna go hug like a giant beach ball. And then we're gonna take the palms away, press them out towards the wall. Inhale, like we're swimming back up towards the surface. We'll bring the hands back behind us. We grab onto the chair. You can push into the chair and inhale. Lift at the top of the breastbone there. Exhale again, hugging. Hugging, hugging, hugging. Something great, big, soft, loving. Inhale, open back up. One more time, exhale, hug, round your back, round your low back, your mid back, your upper back, and then swim yourself back to vertical. Wonderful. And just bring the hands back again. Rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes for a moment. So, and I'll just share one other little yoga thing is that in yoga, there's a word for faith. The word is, in Sanskrit, it's Shraddha. It's not faith as in religious faith. It's faith like in humanity faith. So that we do want to have faith. Because we know we do all need each other. All right, so now we're going to, you can open your eyes and we're gonna, if you're gonna come to the floor, we're gonna come to the floor. I'll also give you something seated if you're not coming to the ground. But if you're gonna come to the ground, you're gonna just take, have your chair be in a position where you'll be able to put your lower legs on it. I like to pad the ground, so I'm gonna open one of my blankets like that. And when you come to the ground, you're gonna come all the way so that when you bring your calves up onto whatever, they're fully supported. Some of you might also want, a pillow under the head so that the forehead is either higher than your chin or at least the same height. So this is the resting position. If coming to the floor isn't an option for you, then it's great if you have another thing to put the legs on or to sit on. So I might have like a second chair so that in one chair, I'll take a seat. In that chair, I might have a pillow or something I need behind me. This is my seated version. So whether you're on the ground with the legs on the seat of the chair, or you might be seated and have the legs up on a stool or another chair or something. And if I'm seated and I have something at my back, I also like to have something behind my head if I'm seated, if I'm staying seated. So I might have to grab an extra blanket or maybe a pillow, something to support me in a seated position. So just for a moment, I'm just going to rest here for a moment. Now let me see here. I'm going to come up with one more thing for us to do before we are completely resting. So if I am on the ground with my legs up on the seat of the chair, with your next exhale, can you slide the right knee toward you, and you can take the hands just behind the knee and bring the right knee toward the chest. If you're seated, you might find that you can bring the right knee up. And when you do, you feel how the low back gets a little longer on that side. And then I'm going to put the right leg back up and bring the other one in. And then I'll put both legs back up. And if I'm on the ground, I think I'll take my arms and I'm going to reach them up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, I'm going to reach them wherever's comfortable, just overhead for a moment. And then I'll inhale them back up towards like a zombie. And then I'll exhale them alongside my body. So seated, I could do the same thing. Inhale the arms halfway. Exhale, reach them overhead, wherever. Inhale, bring them back up halfway. And then exhale, rest the arms. If I'm on the ground, I'll rest them out comfortably along my side somewhere with the palms facing up. If I'm seated, I'll just rest them comfortably in my lap. And sometimes I like having, if I'm seated, a pillow in my lap to support my arms. And if I'm wearing glasses, I'm going to take my glasses off. Now, and if you'll close your eyes. And allow your body to rest down into the ground or in the chair. Allow your body to release with gravity, like to surrender to the support beneath you. Relaxing your jaw. Relaxing your tongue. Any holding in the belly, let go of that. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. And then you can allow your breath to deepen and feel a sense of gratitude for the millions of things that come together, mesh together, breathe together, in order for you to take that next breath of air. And just preparing your body for movement, you give a little movement to fingers or toes. And then slide the legs off of whatever they might be upon. Roll down to one side if you're on the ground. Use the support of your arms to push yourself back up to sitting. You're welcome to either sit on the floor or back in your chair, whatever's comfortable. Once you come back to sitting, if you just take a moment to close your eyes. Just take a moment to just let your attention drop in. And then bringing your hands together in front of your heart. And as we, in Sanskrit, as we honor the light, we honor the light that burns within ourselves. We honor the light that burns in the other. And together we are one. And the word is Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you here. Thank you for being a part of the practice together in whatever way feels comfortable for you. I'm going to stop the recording. And then if there's